Hi everyone, I'm Pamela and today we are making soup for my parents. Chicken soup and beef soup. We went grocery shopping the other day and they were talking about how hard it is to come up with ideas for lunches. Salads are good for a day, maybe two. Sandwiches, not really that healthy. And in the winter it's nice to have something warm, but canned soup just keeps getting grosser and grosser. So I decided to make some soup for the freezer. I used to cook a lot. Now with having a YouTube channel, maybe it's time to get back into it. So I bought this chicken and 2 roasts. I'm going to put the chicken in the oven to roast. The pot roast is going to go into the crock pot. I want to cook it all day so that it's nice and tender. We'll have some of it for supper. Oh look, it's Bella. She's going to be Velcro because the humidifier beeped and she does not like beeping for some reason. I haven't been able to figure it out. I'm playing this fast. I'm really not moving this fast. Now the roasts are going into the crock pot. I'm going to cook them all day. I'm not going to put a whole lot of water in. For some reason, when you cook meat in water in the crock pot, it comes out dry. Does not make sense to me. These are some containers I bought to put their soup in. They're 2.1 cups. So I'm just going to get them opened up and get them in the dishwasher. Okay, the chicken's done. I had it in the oven for about an hour and a half. I used to cook a chicken this size for about an hour, but for some reason meat seems to be taking longer nowadays. I am going to take the skin off, let it cool, and we're going to dump that grease into that container to separate out the fat so we can save the yummy part for the soup. Unfortunately, it's mostly fat, but there's a little bit of yummy stuff in there. Now that the chicken's cooled enough that I can touch it, I'm going to take all the meat off the bones. I'm going to put the bones back in to some water and boil them to make the soup broth. I put in about 6 quarts of water. I'm going to cook up this whole bag of carrots. We'll use some in each of the soups and we'll have some for supper. I'm putting on gloves here because I am allergic to raw vegetables. I follow Frugal Fit Mom, and I've heard Christine say that there's certain raw vegetables that she can't eat, or raw fruit. It's both for me, raw vegetables and raw fruit. You'll see me cutting all different ways here. I have fibromyalgia and I've been crocheting because I want to get some stuff online to sell, and my wrists were really sore. I was also really nervous. I felt like there was people watching me. I haven't filmed very many videos. I am really shy and I could never do this live. Not that I have all that many followers. If you don't subscribe already, please subscribe. Please like this video. So while I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to take care of this lunch meat. I rarely eat lunch meat, and it doesn't keep in the fridge. So I need to freeze it, but I have to separate it so I can just thaw what I need for one sandwich. So I roll it up and then freeze it laying flat in a bag, so that way I can take out just one roll when I need it. So you freeze it like that, and then once they're frozen, you can shake them all down to the bottom of the bag, and you can just reach in and pull out one roll. I'm going to make my husband sandwich for the next day, and I have one of those frozen rolls of ham for him that I thawed. And it does come out a little wet, so you just tap it dry with some paper towels. Now we're going to cut up the chicken in bite-sized pieces for the soup. Oh look, it's my baby Woden. Helping Mama. Carrots are cooked. We're going to separate them. 2 bowls for soups and 1 bowl for supper. These are the noodles that I'm going to put in the chicken soup. Little tiny egg noodles. And I'm going to cook them for 4 minutes. I'm cooking everything separately, especially the noodles and the potatoes, because they leave a lot of starch in the water. So I don't want that in the soup. And I also don't want them to absorb too much of the broth. So I cook them first, and then I'll add them to the soup, and they'll get reheated with the soup. The bones have been boiling for a couple of hours, so I'm going to strain them out of the broth. Because I didn't boil the skin along with it, there's not much fat to remove. So I've added the carrots and some corn that I saved from native New Hampshire corn this summer. Let it simmer for a little bit, added the noodles, and now we're just gonna package it up. It's all done. These potatoes are for the beef soup, and again with the gloves. And again, I'm going to cook them separately because of all the starch. These are the noodles I'm putting in the beef soup. I'm going to cook them for 10 minutes. We do not like al dente pasta. Time to cut up the beef roast. We did have some for supper and it was super tender. This is the juice from cooking the meat last night. We're just going to take the fat off, which is really easy when it's cool. See how easy that was? And see how jelly it is? That's how you know it's really rich and full of flavor. I'm going to add 2 containers of broth. All I had was chicken broth. Because I only had chicken stock, I am going to add a little bit of this beef base to make sure it has a beefy flavor. Just a little bit. I don't want too much salt. Now it's just kind of dump and go everything that I've prepped. Now it's just going to go back on the stove to simmer about half an hour, and then I'll add the noodles. And this is all the soup that we made. The chicken soup I put outside last night, and it is frozen solid because it's below zero out, even during the day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like this video.